I've asked you about being an actress and asked you to give inspiration to actors and actresses. Let me ask you this. Being that you've done all the roles and you can give this expertise, what advice would you give to that aspiring filmmaker out there?
Well, first, I want to not officially condone guerrilla shooting because I don't want anybody to get arrested. And I'm just saying, like, it's just hard sometimes. And you just got to do what you got to do. But it's not technically legal, I don't think. So, yeah. But I think I would suggest, I mean, if you can't be like a trust fund baby, then, because I feel like that's what I'm learning everyone is who kills it on the festival circuit. It's just like,
Hello.
but honestly, it's like, oh, okay, so you're like a Getty family member, and that's what this. So you just like make films, and nobody ever makes money, and you just keep doing it. Cool, okay.
Yeah. This is an independent film. Wait a second,
No,
isn't your uncle a Coppola? Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, well, and I have a friend, Akanksha. She did this film called Close Ties to Home Country, and she's definitely not a trust fund baby. She's like a brilliant, wonderful physicist that decided to transition into being a filmmaker, and her film is killing it. I mean, like Telluride, Aspen, like everything that you would ever want to get into. She's doing so well, but I'm learning through her how it's already so expensive to apply, but then having to fly to the festivals and all that stuff. I mean, if you don't, I don't get how people do it, but,
yeah.
But sorry, as far as useful advice, I would say, number one, sound, really focus on your sound, pay for your sound. Definitely. I regret so much waiting around for someone to like discover me and listen to my ideas. I think that you have to write the parts and create the films that for the things you want to play, like write the parts you want to play, write this dialogue you want to be able to say. No one else is going to do it for you. Most people are just thinking about themselves 24/7. And so there's no need to be scared to ask questions because they're going to forget by tomorrow. Like everything that you're afraid of is not a thing to be afraid of when it comes down to it. And I've had so many experiences with that. Even in the last year, like I shot a spot on 61st Street that also got cut, but it's a really cool show that Michael B. Jordan is doing. And there was a bit in it where like I had to, pour this guy water and do this thing and walk around this. And I made sure to clarify before we shot, like, okay, so which hand do you want it to the camera, the pouring hand? Because we have to do it. Because I know that if I don't ask these questions, I'm going to get yelled at for not having continuity or doing it wrong, 100 times. So I asked like 10 questions up front. I think it probably annoyed the director, but then it was over. And then we nailed it in 2 takes because I knew what I was doing. And I think you really have to do that as an actor and as a filmmaker. You have to stick to your guns because I think it's so important that if something's going to fail, it has to be based on your vision. Whether or not somebody else thinks it's like, if it's going to fail, it better be because that was the decision you made and you're going to own your failure. You shouldn't make a change or a decision based on someone else's input. So then you have somebody else to blame if it goes wrong.
That's great advice.
Very true.
It's so true too. Like you can hold yourself accountable a lot easier if you, like the projects where somebody is wearing the more hats, they're usually the ones that are like there's a personal touch to them. Is like everything is on the line for the filmmaker that is put this thing together. I
like to call it OYS. Own your shit.
It's the same way when you call
it's
like
not copyrighted. You can have that.
When you call you call a company for customer service, they always have that ability like to compartmentalize everything so much that nobody has to take responsibility for any single thing. And when somebody is like doing everything,
they're more invested.
Yeah.
Such a good analogy. Yeah.